everything's there. If I don't have to keep walking back and forth.
Well, you leave them on the floor and forget about it. You'll find it. Sometime in the future, you'll find it when you slip on it.
Yeah, that's right.
So your roll around, you got a drawer in there dedicated for like screwdrivers, one for a drawer for Allen wrenches, stuff like that.
Well, nah, one of them has a drawer in it, but I don't use it. I just put them all there so I can just look and grab one.
All right. Point being is, this particular roll around that I had actually foam inserts to where your screwdrivers went right down in there. And I know that my number 2 Phillips is on the right hand side on the second drawer, toward the bottom. Well, when I go pull that drawer open, guess what? If that screwdriver's in there and it ain't where it's supposed to be, now I got to go, well, where did I do all that screwdriver?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's when I have most trouble finding myself when I put it back where it's supposed to be.
If you did it every time, you wouldn't have to hunt for it.
Yeah, I just keep it in the roll around till I'm done with what I'm doing.
Yeah, you might have to get up and walk over to the toolbox 5 times before you're done.
What? Starting off, I do. Hey, Frank. Frank, you know what broke me from that, really?
Oh.
I told you I'm ex-Navy, right?
Yep.
You know about FOD, foreign object debris.
Yeah.
Well, we had every morning we'd muster it out, and we about twice a week would go out and do FOD walkdowns. Well, anyhow, we had to sign our tools in and sign our tools out every day at maintenance control. And in the evenings, you had to sign that all your tools were accounted for. Well, this one particular day, I had a little 7/16 box end wrench. It wasn't but about 3 inches long, and I was using it out on the bomb rack, out on the flight line. And dang on, it come time to sign tools, and it's 16:30, and I got to looking, and that wrench was missing. What I had done is I stuck it in my right-hand back pocket.
Forgot about
If you know anything about the military, you ain't supposed to put anything in your pockets in the first place. But anyhow, that's what it was. I had to go in there and admit I couldn't find it too. They had the whole squadron, 150 guys out there walking the flight line looking for this wrench. 3 hours past quitting time, we're out there in the dark with flashlights looking for this stupid wrench. And I asked the petty officer, I said, can I go take a quick smoke break? And we had a concrete bench out there in front of the hangar. And when I sat down, I felt that thing poke me in the butt. And they old 3 Swain looked at me and said, don't you dare tell them that you found that thing in your pocket there, that they'll beat you half to death. He said, let me have that thing. You ran out there and stuck it under the wheel well and hunted some aircraft. I said, well, I don't find it. Don't tell them it was in your back pocket.
Don't they issue you dog tags when you go to the tool trip? You take a tool off the wall, they hang your tag number on it, but know who took it?
No, our tools were set out to our squadron. We had 2 big tool boxes, and each box, when you opened it up, had a number, you're right, for each wrench, and it was a serialized number, and it had a serial number in the box that it went to.
Yep.
See, we didn't have to worry about that with our cars, Frank. We didn't have to worry about a wrench tangling up in something at 30,000 feet.
No.
We just pull over if we left a wrench in the intake or something, we just pull offside the road.
Sure.
N4AZ, KK4VH.
You left the screwdriver sitting on top of the radiator. You close the hood, and the screwdriver falls into the fan and wipes out your radiator, right?
Yeah, so like that right there.
Yep.
Either that or puts a big lump in the hood.
Bill's done left. Wait till he comes back tomorrow, dude, and ask him about time he stuck his hands out in a flex fan.
I didn't even know he left.
Yeah, he's not left.
He just disappeared.
He helped some guy work on a car one time. He put a new flex fan on without the shroud around it, and he got his hands a little too close on that flex fan, like took his fingers off.
Oh.
I did that once with a timing light. Trying to get in at the vibration damper to get the timing mark, and I kept getting closer with the light, and I said, oh, both the fans got it.
Hey, we're safer now with these electric fans. They're caged.
Yeah, well, they got a shroud around them.
Yeah.
Can't get in them.
Child-proof.
Dude-proof.
Yeah, I've bought the blades before, not the, it's on the, there was a metal blades on the clutch fan, thank goodness the clutch had let it slip a little bit. But it's plastic plastic fans, if you didn't have a cage on, they would tear you up.
Now, this flex fan wasn't plastic, it was metal.
Yep. Yeah, I bought mine one time idling. I nipped it a little bit. It didn't cut me. It actually made it kind of numb the way it hit, but I think if it wasn't for that clutch on it, it probably would have got me good.
You didn't do it again, did you?
No, I didn't do it again.
You didn't reach in there to see what got you, did you?
No, you know what it is. You immediately know you got too close.
I bumped down my timing like Frank said many times on a fan. Yep. Forget about the fan. You try to find the mark on the vibration there, but with the light, you move in too close.
I watched the cat doing a model airplane, and now you come up behind you when you do the needle valve on it. You come up from behind it, you know, and he had his right hand in front of the blade and just did not think. Went straight to the needle valve through the blade.
Hey, dude.
Yeah.
You got to visualize this now, okay? You know what a squirrel cage blower is, right?
Yeah.
I want you to imagine a squirrel cage blower in an air washer room of an industrial building. This thing was every bit of 12 foot high, 12 foot wide, and about 12 foot deep. That's how big the squirrel cage weighed 1.2 tons. God, what does that tell you? And the shaft diameter was 6-inch shaft.
Wow.
Okay, now, you can imagine the size pulleys on this thing, right?
Yeah.
This thing had a big old, I think it was about a 50 horse AC motor with 4 pulleys and then 4 belts that drove this thing. This one idiot had a bad habit of trying to walk those belts on.
Oh,
Had
no.
somebody bump the start, just barely bump it to walk them on there. And he was trying to walk one on one day and he got his fingers between the belt and the pulley, and guess what? Didn't have a finger.
Did it take him a circle one time?
And then it took the circle all the way around and he lost 2 of his fingers. Oh.
A friend of mine, he had his son. His son was out underneath the hood of the car trying to put a trailer light on something, and he hit to bump the starter a couple times out of the wrong move, and that thing fired off, and his son's hand got caught in the belt and up underneath the alternator pulley and took 2 fingers off.
Those bells and pulleys have no mercy.
They do not, especially a big one like that.
No.
Well, Archie was sick. He had it a long time. Butch lost 2 fingers.
The pressure in that room, dude, was so great. That thing had a safety to where you had to be outside the door and have it closed before you could actually start the thing up. Because if you started it up, there's no way you could open the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He overrode the safety to where he could manually bump start it from the inside.
What was that used for?
It was an air washer room. It had a big, huge evaporator in there that had spray nozzles, and then that evaporator on that big squirrel cage was blowing air across those spray nozzles, and that's how they cooled the building.
Okay. But it's on a swamp cooler.
Yeah, pretty much evaporative cooling, yeah.
Well, we had a couple big water towers like that to make for water chillers.
That's what it was. They had chillers on the roof. They would chill the water, and the water would go down in a water bath, and then you had pumps that would pump them up to these spray heads, and the water temperature was like 50-odd degrees, and then the fan would blow across those.
Basically an air conditioner.
Towers are probably, I guess they're about 15 foot tall, mounted in the wall of the machine, and 2 100 horsepower chillers in there. They spray the water over the top of them, they run down with that radiator and a fan and draw it in, and drop the ambient temperature of that water.
Yeah, that's basically what this was. That's just too big a refrigeration. I don't do that stuff anymore, dude.
Yeah, it's awful big. I just do little small units. Mo Johnny, what are you doing? Frank, what you done with Mo Johnny?
Hey, oh, he probably signed out. Oh, Johnny.
Mo Johnny, you signed out.
I had him in my ID last couple of times.
I didn't even know he left.
The ID the last time around.
Anybody hear him leave?
Maybe he's sleeping.
You gonna hot rod something tomorrow?
Yeah, I went out today. I'll go out today. It's gonna be up in the low 80s by Saturday.
What time you gonna go, and I'll go with you.
I usually go after the school buses are all done, about 10 o'clock in the morning.
I'll wait about 10 and I'll head out. That's right.
I've been gone a couple days, got some honeydews to take care of, so I'm gonna get on out of here. Set trees, one and all, enjoyed it, and we'll catch you tomorrow, heading toward WQR.
Take care, Chris. Good night, Chris.
Toodles, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
I'm gonna take some out, I don't know what.
Oh, it's gonna get warm down there too, eh? Take one of your convertibles out. But you got a convertible?
Yeah.
Put the top down, put your hat on with a feather in it. They'll think you're a big you-know-what.
You got quite a few things to cycle through in that place.
I'll take that. I think I might take that old vet out tomorrow. It's convertible.
Hey, don't you get a pretty good discount when you register more than 2 or 3 vehicles with Haggerty?
Yeah, some kind of discount. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I know with Al, he had 17 cars with him.
17?
Discount with 17 cars.
I ain't never had but one car, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's all I ever had too. But you figure he can only drive one car at a time, so is that accident risk it was probably isn't any different if he had one, right?
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, insurance company loves him. He's not driving them all.
Yeah, it's probably a better deal for the insurance company.
I never complained about Haggerty's prices.
No, they were always fair to me.
Yeah. Well, their buy products are good, man. You can call them within 100 miles anywhere, and they come bring you gas or come tow you in or whatever for free.
Yeah, I got the Drivers Club thing there where you get all the towing for 100 miles.
Yeah. Did you know they will do it on your wife's car? If your wife's car breaks down or runs out of gas, whatever, her brand new car, it's not even insured with them.
Yeah, well, AAA is the same way.
Do what?
AAA does the same thing. I got both.
I haven't had AAA in years. They told me a long, long time ago my car was too old. I had a pickup truck down a 49 GMC, and they refused to renew my thing on it. They told me it was too old. That truck was probably in better shape than the new car was.
I never heard of that.
Yep, they wouldn't insure it no more, AAA, and I ain't had them since.
Well, Haggerty would, because that's what they insure, antiques.
I never heard of that one. It's 488.
KK4VH.
Yeah, and I know a few guys that put claims in, and they never had any problems with the claims. And if you get some parts they don't reproduce, and you need them, they'll scour the whole country looking for you.
Yeah, I've heard they would. I won't never get them again on account of that.
I never had that. I just got the Haggerty.
Well, that's all I've ever put on antique cars.
You got the Drivers Club package.
Yeah. The guy was telling me that it covered the wife's car. Anything we drive, doesn't matter what it is. If we own it, and they'll come do the same thing as if it was one of the ones they got insured.
If you get any car damage, you get in an accident, they will help you track down how to get parts for it.
Yeah, that's right.
And when you have an accident, you have to have it towed. You call Haggerty, and Haggerty will get you a record. They all over the world, they got just certain records. They'll tow the antique stuff.
Yep.
Yep, they make sure they're flatbed, so they don't put the hook under your chassis and ruin it.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I didn't know that, till, last year.
I never had to use it, but guys that tell me that did, they say they're all right. You'll have no problem with Haggerty.
No, you won't. I know a guy had his garage flooded, and he lost 3 cars. And then the water got up above the floorboards, and all 3 of them Haggerty cut him a check. He said, "I'll have the check." And when he called him, he said, "Well, hey, you'll have the check in the mail tomorrow." He said, "Just pull the cars out close to the road where we can get to them when the man comes to get them."
Yeah.
I told you about that Malley road sheriff. My buddy totaled out last year, and Haggerty paid him almost double what it was insured for.
Really?
Yeah, well, with Haggerty, you get a great value. If the car is a rare car that's worth $70,000, and you can insure it for $70,000.
Yeah. Yeah, they set the prices on mine because I was actually asked me what I wanted on them, and I told them I was just going by what I had in them. You know, I told them that's what I got in the car, and they said, "Well, you know, you need to insure it for what it'll take to replace it." So I was way low on my prices. They put it up where they said it needed to be.
Yeah. So they sent a appraiser down. You had to take her to an appraiser, didn't you?
No, they the first time, yeah, but after that, they just let me take pictures and send them to them.
Yeah, they do that too.
Yeah, I just send pictures of them and.
For what he had it insured for, and when he got the check was almost double. He called him up and said, "Oh, you made a mistake on the check here." He said, "Oh, where are your sons of them?" They said, "No, the value of your vehicle's improved by more than that since you've insured it with us."
Yeah. Well, you know, like that Corvette, the little red Corvette I got. I had about 35 in it, and what I insured it for. And they said, "Well, was it wrecked?" Or I said, "No, it's fine. It's good." Yeah, they wanted pictures of it, so I sent them pictures under the hood and all around it, you know. And they came back and they said, "You're way low on that." Anyway, they set it at 85,000. I didn't. They did.
Well, if you got like a special rare produced car, just say you had a Shelby Mustang and you only made 300 of that model, and that car is worth a couple of $100,000. In reality, that car only cost $3,500 when it was new. There's no insurance for that as long as the auction prices are up there for that car.
Yeah. So I guess that's how Haggerty does it, because he called me back and said they appraised it by the pictures, and they said this is what it's going to take to replace that car if somebody steals it or you know wipe it out or something.
That's right.
But I just always did what I had in them, so I didn't. I said I just give my money back, you know.
I moved one time, when I moved, I didn't know anybody around there who handled Haggerty. I called Haggerty and told him I moved and I want to change my insurance. The guy said I can do it right here on the phone. I give him my address and everything. A couple of weeks later, one of the girls up there called me, wanted more information, and she's asking me a bunch of questions, and some of it over again, and I said, I give him all them answers. We went all through this when I talked to the man on the phone, and he told me what the premium would send. She says, "You talked to the owner. You didn't expect him to know how to do business, did you?"
You know, other thing they did, now I had to take pictures. I don't anymore, but I did on the first one. I had to take pictures of where the car lives. You know, they want to see all four walls, you know, the corners and everything. That it was kept inside.
Yeah, you had to keep it in a shelter or a garage.
You're supposed to be locked up under lock and key at night at your home place if you're not off somewhere.
Yeah, they wouldn't show nobody that parked them out in the driveway.
Yeah, they sure won't.
They made that clear that it had to be inside, and they wanted pictures of where it was going to be before they'd insure it. And
That's right.
then they call you back. They want to see I took a picture of it, and it just showed the wall and another wall, and they said they want to see I think they have to have a document of all of it. So yeah, lock and key. I guess that protects them.
Yeah, it protects them, and I wouldn't take a valuable car and leave it out in the driveway either.
No, unless you got some of them that are going to try to get it stolen.
Yeah, well, that's a different story.
If they overinsure it or something. I don't think Haggard lets you overinsure it.
Well, If you think it's worth more money, you can ask them to raise the value on it, but then they'll send an appraiser to look at it.
Yeah, and it'll have to meet it.
Yeah, but an appraisal will determine if it's worth it.
Yeah. You don't ever want to have to use it.
Yeah, I always liked them. They were good people. I never had a claim against them either. I'm gonna get out of here, gents. Y'all take care. Have a fine one. I enjoyed it. KK4BH clear 7-3.
Good night, Al.
Toodles out.
Yeah.
So who's left? You, me, and Glenn?
Yeah, what happened to Bill and Chip?
Yeah, Bill, he left. Chip, you in there? They just disappeared.
Alright, I think Chip's gonna say.
Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't even hear him.
I'm gonna get out of here also. I'll catch you all tomorrow morning. Go you do what you said.
Well, I was hollering for you. We thought you signed.
No, I went out. I got a coyote out here. I was running him off.
Oh, did you get a picture?
See what?
Get a picture of him?
No, it's too dark, but I couldn't get no picture.
Did you shoot him?
He didn't like the sound of my 22.
Okay. Yeah, we were hollering at you when somebody said you must have signed.
No, I didn't sign it, but it was right out here by my back door, so I had to run him off.
He came right up to your back door, huh? Knowing you were inside?
Yeah, he's coming up. There's a family up that's been back here for a long time. They come up in the yard, but my big dog inside my house tonight, so he's out and run them off. But I unloaded a couple rounds at him.
All right.
That'd be doggone. Now, you're not feeding them, I hope.
No, I'm not feeding, but I'm gonna go and get the dog food bowl and put it inside because my bigger dog's gonna be in the house tonight. His food bowl's out, and that'll keep him from coming up.
Oh, yeah. All right, then, Mo Johnny. Then you have a good night.
Okay, you too, Frank, and Dude, and Glenn, and Chris is still in there. Adios.
All right, Chris left too. Anyway, Toodles in for his Eddie.
Well, they were good right there, Mojon.
Okay, Glenn, you too.
Hey, Frank, remember that night that Uncle Willie shot the coyote?
Yeah, I seem to remember that.
Yeah, I got off the radio outside. Go back in about 30 seconds later. That sucker's done. And, was he shooting? Oh, yeah, I shot him. He says he's out there. He shot him with a 45 pistol right up next to the house.
Yeah, I thought that was that coyote trying to get his little dog little bit?
Yeah, the little bit was out in the yard, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just a little bit.
That's what he called his little dog, little bit. You know how little bit died? Dave ran him over with his bulldozer.
Oh.
A little bit didn't die.
Well, what was the dog he ran? He ran one of his dogs over the bulldozer.
Yeah, that was one of the four little bit. Yeah, the guy that took care of his property up here, mowed his lawn and stuff up here has got a little bit yet.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't know which one it was. I know one of them got run over.
Yeah, that was a black one that got run over there. A little bit was a little brown, black, and white Jack Russell.
Huh. Being run over. Have y'all heard about these, they wear the little orange, things so they can be seen, but they're called, they're anti-oil protesters. They get out and block roads. They just don't stand in the road or sit in the road.
A lot of the protesters do that.
Yeah, these are, they call them anti-oil protest. They don't like oil.
Oh,
you know? Okay. But they're wearing, everything they're wearing comes from oil, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But there's usually 7 or 8 of them line up across the road, you know, and block traffic. And I was looking at some of those on the videos where people are pushing through them with their cars.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? Unfortunately, the ones that are late for work and they got to put up with that, and they get mad, they push through them, they end up getting sued.
Yeah, for one of them, there was an ambulance coming through. Somebody was needing to get to the hospital, and they were blocking them.
I wonder if they're allowed to cut. I don't think they're still allowed to plow through them, are they?
what they did, they went on the edge of him and got on the sidewalk, and they tried to block him there, but the ambulance got through. I think the mirror might have got one of them. But now the cops are using this pain grip where they pick them up. You know, they won't try to help themselves. They'll just like dead weight, you know.
Yeah, when they resist arrest.
Yeah. So they're grabbing the cop on each hand, and they take their hand and fold it under, and on their wrist, you know, fold it like your thumb's gonna go back to your wrist.
Oh yeah.
They call it a pain grip.
Sounds like a pain.
They'll pick them up like that, and those people will go to screaming.
Well, deserves them right.
Yeah. But I was watching it. There was one guy that he had a Beamer or something, and he turned it backwards and pulled right up to him, put the exhaust right on him, and just started revving it.
You see when they had that thing going out there out west there, something to do with trees or something?
Yeah, they may be, yeah.
Well, you see the cops with the push bars on the front, they plowed right through them with those push bars.
Yeah. And there was a bus coming through there, some kind of big bus. But these people climb on the cars, on the front ends of the car. That ticked me off.
Yep.
Get off front end of my car now. But this bus driver, he kept rolling real slow. One of them got knocked, you know, they lost their balance, went over backwards, started screaming, you know.
You run them over?
No, he didn't run them over, he just kept slowly pushing. They seem to manage to kind of get out of the way, but they'll get on the hood and ride on the hood while they're taking them down the road.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, they contribute 100% to their own injury.
Yeah, well, you ought to be able to just go through. One cat come in through there, and they were blocking. He just barreled through them and sent a couple of them flying. I mean, you're sending out a 4-lane road. It's at least a 55-mile-an-hour road, and they're gonna just sit in the middle of it and block it.
You know, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, have them try to protest a train going down the tracks.
Yeah, you let them sit there.
Have them sit in the tracks and see what happens.
That's what they ought to do. They ought to get the handcuffs. Just walk them up and handcuff them to the track and say, y'all stand here a while. The train will come along, you can protest it.
There's 300 tons of steel rolling at you, they don't stop.
Yeah.
They south of there, about 3,000 feet.
Yeah, 2 miles down the road, maybe, down the track.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd carry some zip ties with me if I was a cop. And I'd zip tie them to a pole or something.
Oh, they carry zip ties to arrest them because there ain't enough handcuffs.
Yeah, zip tie their wrist and hook a zip tie to the pole or tree or something. And just leave them there.
Yeah, what's the use? After you arrest them and go through the process, they bring them into a courtroom and the judge lets them go and yells at the cop.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them just assume turn their back and don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the drivers are getting out doing it now. They're stopping and teaming up and dragging them out. One lady got this one girl in front of her car and just drug her by the shoulders back there. And she goes back to get in her car, and here comes the lady comes up in front of her car again. So he just walked up behind her, grabbed her by the ponytail, and drug her on the other side of the road, all the way across both lanes, and left her over there and come back in her car and left.
There's plenty of those videos you can watch on YouTube.
Yeah, it's funny. I like it when the pedestrians get involved.